Hi, everyone. Welcome to the third day of the 6-day Advanced Water Fasting Challenge Q&A. Make sure that you bring your questions to us, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Send them in. If you don't send in your questions, I'm not going to be able to help you. But just send them in. Every question's an important question. You'd be surprised what one little question that you think doesn't really matter could change your whole life. You know, if we were to question everything, right? You need to question me. You know, the type of products what do I sell? The therapies that I do. You know, understand something. Question everything. And understand something too. That science, most of the time, not most of the time, but a lot of the time can be wrong depending on who did the study and where the information is coming from. So always get a second and third opinion. Now, you'll see that fasting is not a dangerous thing. And what would be my motives at teaching you this? Well, of course, you might buy some products to do the fasting, but you can go out and find other products if you want. The reality is, all I want to do is teach everybody, okay, that the power to heal is within us all, okay? We need to find out the outside environment, is it healthy or unhealthy? You need to evaluate your environment, the people you live with, the food you eat, the things you drink, the things you think, what you allow to come into your home and what you shouldn't allow to come into your home, what you should allow to come into your mind and what you shouldn't allow to come into your mind. Right now, we are a nation that is split to vaccinate or not vaccinate. The reality is if people did their research and found out that vaccinations have never been tested, ever. Right off the bat, I would tell someone, if they believed in something that was never tested, the question would be, why isn't it tested? We need to move forward on a personal level. So we're going to talk about fasting today. And the biggest test you'll ever have is changing your subconscious programming, is embracing that infinite, beautiful spirit within. Honoring and respecting oneself. Understand something. If you come from a place of fear, your answers are going to be incorrect. Okay? So what I'm saying is, if you fear fasting, then don't do it this time. All of these videos I'm doing are going to go up into my YouTube channel in the DIY, do it yourself. So be a spectator, because we never accept anything in our mind unless through repetition. I can give you at least a dozen instances right now that the majority of the population is opting into things that could endanger their lives and their children, and they've accepted them. And that's because it's all about programming. It's the programming that you listen to, and it's the programming within your mind. And remember something. Who's really making the decisions but the strongest beliefs you have? And do you question your own beliefs? So let's get back to the fasting. So the more that you involve yourself in this, and the more that you gently go in and test the waters, so to speak, you'll become more at ease with doing things that are so powerful and inexpensive. Why is fasting inexpensive? Well, because it's not just going to lower your toxic load on an emotional and physical level. It's going to rid you of 85-90% of all the disease and illness that you would have had in the future. And every time that you do a fast, it will become easier. And you will enjoy it more. I can tell you right now that just even thinking about fasting, for me, was very scary. I never thought I could go without a meal, never thought I could go without a day of eating. But then the longest fast I've ever done was 18 days. I don't have to go back and do that because, you know, it's like this. The deeper the hole you dig, the longer the ladder needs to be. And understand something. Unless you're taking massive personal action in your own health care, then that's not health care at all. Because health care is self-care. So I'm Dr. Wolfe, and I'm your guide, and I'm going to answer all your questions. Today we were going to show how to do the pelvic enhancer, the pelvic squat, belly button. We're going to do it tomorrow. Believe it or not, when you're running a show, sometimes things glitch out. I have a huge programming system, and something's not working right today. So when we go to do this, we only have one camera right now. We need 3 cameras. So tomorrow, which is Friday, I'm going to be showing the things that I need to do, like the squatting, the belly button. But I will show some things today, okay? But other things that take a little bit more movement and take more cameras, we're going to utilize that tomorrow. All right. So this advanced water fasting challenge began Tuesday, May 12th at 7 p.m. and finishes on Tuesday, May 19th at 6 a.m. To help you, I will be joining you, like I said, every day up until this coming Tuesday. All right? And I will be answering all your questions, but it doesn't end there because I do live Q&As every Monday. So when we do the Q&As, every question is welcome, whether it's on a spirit level, emotional level, physical level. It doesn't matter, okay? All right, so we have a lot of questions today. I'll be going through those at the end here. And Heidi, if you're listening to the show today, before the show ends, I'm going to ask you to call in, okay? And my extension is number 5. I like to, if you would like to spend a few minutes with me on the phone, every time I do a Q&A now, I allow one person to call in and we take their situation and I'll go into more detail and personalize it for them. So if you'd like to be that person, you just need to call into my office and let me know that you would like that. Okay, you only have to give your first name, and if you don't want to give your first name and you want to make up a name, you can go ahead and do it. I want people to get that personal experience of people really calling and what we will do to help you. And understand something, everybody. We've created something, and really this whole drama thing that's going on in the world right now really made us wake up to something. And that is if a person doesn't understand how to create the perfect day from the minute they wake up until they go to bed, they're dead. Now you think I'm dramatizing? I'm not. You know what most people do? They'll go to a naturopath or a chiropractor or a medical doctor or any other holistic therapist, and they'll get little tidbits. And I'm telling you right now that we don't need to be treated anymore. You're going to continually get treated, but that is not what we need. We need to get trained on to look after this God-given, beautiful gift that we have. So this is what I'm making available to everyone. And this might seem annoying to you, but because we believe it's going to make a really big difference, I've brought on 5 master trainers. Now, what are they? 5 master trainers are people who have taken my courses multiple times, and they are actually going out into the field and teaching health professionals and teaching people how to become health professionals. And they're now online, and they'll come on Skype, they'll come on Facebook, they'll phone, you name it, okay? Google Hangout. We'll set things up. We have you come on, and we do a consultation. From the minute you wake up till you go to bed, we build a protocol. What's best for you? We personalize it. And you're going to pay $125, and we're going to give you $25 to put against your product. So you're paying $100, and you're going to get lifetime support from us. You're never going to be rejected. If you call me 5 times a day, you're going to get respected. Let me tell you something. How much money do I need? Well, guess what? I'm happy already. We're going to funnel as much money back into our protocols to truly, honestly support people. People don't need any more scientific breakthroughs. In my personal opinion, people don't need to be immunized. You have an immune system. You always have, since the beginning of time. But how are you going to look after that immune system and understand that immune system? Well, we're going to do it. So I've got 5 master trainers that will coach you emotionally, nutritionally, on detox, exercise, lifestyle. They'll help you to weed out the things that are in your mind that have created landmines for yourself. And understand something, when you see the majority of the population with autoimmune disease, that's 92% to this date right now, and 50% of the children with asthma, we know we're going down the wrong way. So it's like, Darrell, get your head out of your butt and create an actual formula that is foolproof as possible to truly help people, and stop pretending that you really want to do it. So I'll also be doing the fasting challenge approximately every 8 weeks for newcomers and for those who want to go back and do it again. Do you know how you become an Olympian at anything? Practice makes perfect. Listen to me. You fall down as often as you want, but just know this. We'll help you as long as you want to get up. Okay? There are no failures. There are only failures when you've given up on you. And understand something. We wouldn't be in this bloody mess right now if people didn't give up on themselves, but they don't even know they have. Man, people must think that God made a really faulty product. I mean, I shake my head in disbelief. I cannot believe how we have been programmed to not even use our brain anymore. Or, you know what? Oh, I have a gut feeling. Nobody has a gut feeling anymore. Where's your gut feeling gone to? Do you not know an honest person when you see them come on? Do you not know what honesty is? Every major system that's out there right now has been created by the elite. I'm done. That's all I wanted to say. It's hard for me not to say this because I'm telling you, I've got children and I've got grandchildren. Are you going to be able to look your children in the eye or your grandchildren in the eye and said that you made the right decision? All right. Let's move on. So, really quickly, the main illness for the physical body is inflammation. If you don't master your mind, you'll never master the physical body. That's it. We are an inflammation nation, and everything out there and all those systems, whether you're talking about food corporations, big pharma, you're talking about any news system, you're talking about your government, they're fear mongers. So understand something. Just take a look around and then tell me that I'm a big fat liar. Okay? So first we get inflammation, which causes hormones to dump in that are very negative, that cause crystallization. Why is the crystallization? Because you're making fibrin too to go in the area to create a wall, and the crystallization is the lactic uric acid to glue the fibrin together to wall off the inflammation of that tissue that you've inflamed that is on its way to mutating. So now the scar tissue keeps coming into that weak point, and along comes with it is calcium from your bones. That's why osteoporosis is so dang bad today. Most people have osteopenia. So now you've got the calcium because walls are made out of cement. Now you've got the crystallization, lactic uric acid, which is the glue, and you've got the fibrin, which is the brick. And now you're walling things off, and you've got physical blocks. And it's those physical blocks that big pharma are counting on, because the more blocks you have, the more inflammation you cause, the more decreased circulation you have with your spirit, lymph, and blood. Tell me I'm wrong. There's not a problem in the body that isn't a physical problem, a physical block, a dam. And for most of us, we're a damn mess. Okay? A cancer patient doesn't have one tumor or two tumors or a few lymph nodes. They have 20 to 30 blocks throughout their body. And to treat anybody with any type of illness, you cannot call it a disease. Get rid of disease names. It's good to have a disease name. Oh, okay, so we know the pain part is here. The problem we think is there. But without whole body healing, there's no whole body healing. And that can only be done by one person, and that is only you, not me. I cannot do it. I can take your money for treatments. I can take your money for product. But if you were to come here for a personal treatment or training, or I send a master trainer to you to teach your family how to do the most powerful body work, which is Wolfe non-surgical, and everybody can learn this, and you were to know how to look after yourself emotionally, physically, and nutritionally, boom, you own. So understand something. Don't you dare tell me that practitioners aren't out there fearful that they know they're not going to make money. Well, the only reason why a practitioner wouldn't be making money or be struggling would because his foundation is built on weak theory. Every problem in the human body is crystallization, scar tissue formation, and inflammation and calcification due to calcium being pulled from the bones. And I'm willing to meet with any practitioner on my show and discuss this professionally and intelligently. So I'm okay to be challenged on this. But what are we going to do? We got to get the word out, right? That's the most important thing. So I want to talk about something really quickly, and that is, look at the tissues in your body. Let's say that this is the tissues in your body. The more inflammation you have, the tighter they get and the thinner they get. But guess what? All the tissue's still there. Remember something, inflammation is a fire. And that fire is dehydrating your muscle tissues, your ligaments, your tendons, your organs, your brain, everything. So what are you going to do to bring the hydration back and to make it that it's elastic and that there's blood flow and it's not like a piece of beef jerky that you're trying to chew that you can't even get through it? These are the physical blocks. Now, what happens if that continues? The body sends fibrin, displaced calcium from your bones and lactic and uric acid, and you get a knot in your neck, in your knee, in your hip, in your breast, in your liver, in your pancreas. How am I doing? In your intestines. It's all about a scar tissue issue, and it's about issues in your tissues. All right, so we've got to get these untied. So we know that one of the best ways to increase our frequency, to take the load off the body, is through advanced water fasting, not just water fasting. So people will look at fasting, and they'll do water fasting. You can do that, but I guarantee you that if you look at the way we do it, and you use the products we do, we will intensify the restoration of your body. And the water. You got to make sure you're doing structured water. It's nature's water. Now, I'm going to move on again. I promise I won't stay here too long. We'll get this thing going because we're already late today. So, understand something. When we can take someone, okay, I don't care if it's a spinal issue and they say that they're going to have a rod put in. I mean, if it's not like a 911 emergency and the ambulance is rushing you there, then why wouldn't you look at giving God a chance, giving your body a chance? And now you're going, oh yeah, I would have to bring God into it. Well, God did create you, okay? And your body will heal itself. And scar tissue, even in a hip or in a joint or in an organ, it's not over. It can, all you're doing is, oh, well, we have to cut that fibroid out. Oh, we'll have to cut this out. Everything that mutates can be regenerated. Did you get that? That's a fact. Okay, so your connective tissue goes to scar tissue. Now, what if you were to bring up the vibratory level? And what if we were to go in with Wolfe non-surgical and pull the scar tissue apart? What if you were to do what I'm going to talk about right now with your body? I guarantee you that we can take any fibroid, okay? But it's got to be up to you. Are you willing to take massive personal action? No way. I've never looked after myself. I don't even love myself, for God's sakes. And everybody will say they do, but then when we get into an emotional counseling, guess what? 99 out of 100 people go, you know what? I don't know what self-love is. Holy crap. So let's keep moving. So get the calcium back in, melt the crystallization, turn the scar tissue back into beautiful tissue, healthy tissue. And how do you do that? Well, you got to restore the lymph and the blood flow, and you got to restore the energy flow that's invisible in the body, okay? Whether you want to believe it or not, it's called the field. And it's outside of you, it's inside of you, and it flows through you. But every physical block you have slows that even down. All right, so let's move on. I'm going to make it pretty quick. Use any water that you want on this fast. I would not use distilled water, reverse osmosis. In fasting in the past, they have said that that's the best way because it has no minerals, nothing in it. It's totally void of everything. The problem is if you did your homework, you'd find out that distilled water, reverse osmosis, does not work in getting and hydrating and bringing nutrition into the cells and toxins out. That would be the purpose of the water. And water carries information. That's what it does, right? It carries light energy. It carries frequencies. It carries all the information into the cells, and then it takes out negative information and negative toxins outside of the cells. That's what it does. You have what's called an aquaporin in your cell, And when you structure water and run your water through a structure unit, it's going to lower the surface tension lower than any other water on the planet. So it's easy to get in, easy to get out. It also erases the memory of anybody that drank it or any drugs that were in it, chemicals in it, all of it. So rainwater is structured water, but guess what? Why isn't it poisoning the birds, bees, flowers, trees, you and me? Because it's structured. Even though there's still heavy metals and chemicals in it, once it's structured, it doesn't bother the human body. And guess what? I don't believe it, Dr. Wolfe. Well, that's fine, but it's a scientific fact. Take a look at the water video in the structured water guide in my library and watch what Darrell has to say about fourth phase water, which is structured water. Now, let's move on. Now you're going to go, what's this got to do with our fast? Because I'm going to tell you something. Fasting is the best way to get rid of the built up, are you ready? Blue light and EMF in your body. And what's another really good thing? Well, the fluids in your body are picking up the blue light and the EMF. So it is destructuring, deharmonizing everything. Do you get that? That's where we're going. So when you drink structured water on a continual basis and you are exchanging your fluids in your body, you are restructuring proper balance and proper frequency into your blood, into your extracellular, intercellular, and your lymph fluid. Okay, that's a fact. Okay, so let's move on. Now, when we're talking about the body, we're talking about circulation. We're talking about microcirculation. We're talking about macrocirculation. We're talking about scar tissue formation. We're talking about inflammation, crystallization. Learn to skin brush. Now, I'm going to be doing a video on it, on everything you say, everything that I'm going to do here in simple form. I am going to do an extended video on it to really show you and to give you the facts on these things. That will be over the next 3 months, okay? Believe it or not, we're always shooting video. We're always doing things. We just have to get to it. Okay, when you skin brush, get yourself, this is called a Dr. Jensen's natural skin brush with a handle. You can get this off of my website, or if you want to go get it off of any other website, please. I'll always tell you if we have it on our website. Don't be obligated to buy anything off of my website and then feel guilty about calling us. It doesn't work like that. Go do what you need to do and then call us because we're here to help you. End of story. So you take the skin brush and you're going to go in circular motions. All right? So I don't have time to skin brush every day. So I don't, I'll be honest. I skin brush at least once a week, and it's about a 15-minute thing for me. Some people, like my partner, she will skin brush every day before she gets in the shower. And then she will do a cocoa salt glow in the shower. I don't do that, okay? I'm just a doot, okay? So usually Sunday, I will do that for myself. So everybody's different. You have your own routine, and her routine is better. I just can't do it right now. All right? I would like to get to that point where I'm like, yeah. So you're going to go in a circular motion, and you're going to go as deep as you can with making it feel like it feels good, but it's tough. Okay? All right? So I can go as deep as I want. And I always start at the bottom of my feet, and I go in circular motions, and you're always going towards your heart. I'm thorough. When it comes to my feet and my legs, I could be on my feet for like 5 minutes each to really get them. Because if you take a look at people's feet, as the older you get, they dry up like beef jerky. They got these deep lines in them. Those are cracks because you're dehydrating. Okay? And their feet are stiff and achy. Well, what do you think? Skin brushing is amazing. Okay? So you want to skin brush your whole body, circular motion, so up towards the heart, okay, around the heart. So it's always in a circular motion, right? You want to do your face. I showed that yesterday. You want to even do your scalp. And when you do your scalp, you go vibrating. See, I'm not going like this. I'm staying in one spot and I'm vibrating. And I'm telling you, it's stimulating. Very stimulating. It can help you get rid of headaches. It can help you just feel calmer. And you really want to skin brush right here, the vagus nerve. So you want to focus on the vagus nerve area and on your shoulder because everybody gets tight, right? And most people, their vagus nerve is in lockdown. Oh, wait a minute. So are we. Oh, wait a minute. Fear caused your vagus nerve to go in lock. Oh, wait a minute. Fear causes you to lock down. There you go. Okay, so that's skin brushing. Okay, and you can wash your skin brush. Okay, rinse it out with water and then put it in the sun to dry. Okay, if you want to do that every once in a while. Okay, and then the reason why we've got this handle is because we're going to do our backs. But if you have someone that dearly loves you, have them do your back. Okay, and don't be afraid to skin brush underneath your armpits. Oh, I just love this part. They tell you to be really gentle on your lymph nodes. Let me tell you, I'm not going to go too hard to scratch the skin because when you sweat, it stings. But I'm not going to go gentle on the back on my lymph nodes, whether it's in my ankle or in my groin area or behind my knees or on my neck. Okay, and under my arm, I'm going to go a little easier because that's where you sweat. So you don't want to scratch there. But understand something. Don't believe that part. Don't believe it at all. Because guess what? If you were to skin brush your breasts and under your arm and in this whole area, and you did a salt glow there every day, you would cut down the risk of ever having calcium deposits, crystallization, scar tissue formation, and sore breasts for the rest of your life. You don't have mutation where you have circulation. You don't have calcification where you have circulation. And if you did the skin brushing and the salt glow, you're doing a breast lift. Wow. Yeah, well, guess what? Microcirculation is tone. And what does tone do? Well, boop, gotcha. Okay, so we're going to do our skin brushing. Then we're going to do our salt glow. And I will be showing this more thoroughly, okay? I'm kind of glad we're not doing the whole physical thing today. I'll be telling you all the thing we're doing tomorrow, though. So here's the salt glow, right? And this is all mixed up. And as I said before, you're going to take 10 pounds of Epsom salts. Costco's got it. And then you're going to take, it's a lot better if you do structured water, but if you just want to do water, do it. And so then you're going to wet the Epsom salts down to the consistency of sand. And then what are you going to do? Well, what you're going to do then is you're going to put in, okay, I like to put in Pain Away and Muscle Restore. Some people will use lemongrass because it smells nice. But if you want real therapeutic value in your muscle tissue, you use Muscle Restore and Pain Away, and they smell amazing. Okay, they really do. Okay, and you can see them on our website. Next. And then you're going to add, if it was 10 pounds of Epsom salts, 1 pound of coconut oil. You're going to mash it in. Okay, and then you're going to go in and sit on a white stool, and you're going to grab the Epsom salts. And I can't show, I'll be able to show it better. I guess we'll have to show this tomorrow, eh? But I'm going to tell you right now, if you're on the fast to help you, is as you get in there and you do your fingers, you do your toes. You know that ankle that really hurts? You grab a whole bunch and you go around your ankle and you really scrub it. You also first do the skin brushing and then you really scrub that ankle, okay? And get in there and you'll feel it loosen up. And then the magnesium from the Epsom salts is really going to help. And then you're going to scrub the whole body. Really good. All around the joints like this. Okay? And I always do my wrists. Really get in there and do it because you want your, listen to this. Did you hear that? I don't know if you heard it, but my wrist will actually move apart. Look at that. Look at how loose it is. Most people's wrists are frozen. You don't want that. You want, whenever your wrists get tight, every joint that's tight is a beaver dam in your circulatory system, in your energy system. So it's going to slow things down. So you want to be loosey-goosey. Remember something. It doesn't matter how old you get. You can always feel young if you want. All right? Okay. Now he's going, well, if this is the fasting video, why isn't he talking? I am talking about it. This is the big part of it. If you do these things during and even after, when you go to do your next water fast, you're going to be like a rocket ship to health. That's the difference. We need to get rid of problems with our microcirculation and with the blockages in our joints and in our tissues. And we need to be able to lengthen and make our tissues elastic again. So the objective in life is lengthen, strengthen, detox, and tone. Okay, that's my motto. All right? So then the salt glow, you want to do that everywhere, even on your face. Go under your arms. All right? Good. Okay, let me see. Where are we now? Okay, so clapping, patting, and chipping. Again, here it is here. I already told you we've got 1,000 of these coming in. As soon as they come in, they'll go on. on sale. You'll see them. And we're going to sell them. It probably won't take more than a few days to sell them all because we sold 800 of them in like 14 days. We sold 500 in about 4 days. So we don't have any more left, but we're getting in 1,000. And once they're gone, then I'll let everybody know we're going to be doing the whole clapping series. And you'll be able to see the clapping series in my library. Okay, it's not going to be going up on YouTube. All right, so you'll have to go into the library if you want to keep up on that. It'll say the clapping, padding, chipping guide, okay? And what do I mean by that? Well, padding is something lighter. It's very light, just gets you used to things. Clapping is like this, okay? And you'll have to go watch the clapping video, but we do have it in the first video we did. We're going to leave up in the do-it-yourself section on YouTube. The rest of them will not be going there. They'll only be going into the library. We'll notify you when we start that, okay? And the chipping, believe it or not, you can see there's knobbies here or here, and that depends on how small the area is or how big it is. If you've got a bigger knot, okay, you're going to use this, and if it's a smaller area, we're going to use that. Now, we're going to put up tomorrow, let's put up tomorrow and show the video of the arthritic hand with Janice, and we'll show you the work we did with a gentleman with prostate problem and how we changed his way. He could pee for the first time in 10 years. What he couldn't do for 10 years. He couldn't pee properly. I worked on him for, I think it was probably 20 minutes. And he came out and we'll let you see what he's got to say. We've got about 3 videos we're going to let you watch tomorrow so you can understand the power of you. Do you really want to reverse yourself, or are you running a hate program that you'd rather have someone do surgery? I'm not telling you not to go to surgery if you're in an emergency, but if you're not an emergency, why are you making yourself into an emergency? Why aren't you giving your body a chance? Okay? Anyway, so go watch the clapping video. All right? Now, tomorrow, what I'm going to be showing is I'm going to show you, where is it? The plate. Can you give that to me? And the ball? Okay. So tomorrow, thank you. So tomorrow I'm going to show you how to use a plate and actually get rid of headaches. I'm going to show you how to do something when you wake up in the morning and before you go to bed. And I will tell you, it is the most amazing thing for your occiput, for your cervical spine, okay, which is right up in this area. I can't do it today until we get these cameras working right. And I'm going to show you how to work on your hips with a ball and how to loosen things up. Because you know what happens when you're on a water fast? I know people are feeling it already, that you feel like you're getting a headache. And that's because, you know what? You've got too many blocks. Your liver can't detoxify properly. There's too much guck in it. Your bowels aren't moving properly. So everything's about circulation, whether it's in your large intestine, in your liver, okay, or any other organ, in your kidneys, okay, or in your lymph system. The more blocks you have, the more crappier you're going to feel. And so that's why we need to orchestrate the self-love, self-care program, right? So I'll be showing that tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm also going to be showing how to do a shoulder stretch and loosen up your neck. This is something that I put together for all the Wolfe non-surgical therapists, and I get them to do this in between working on people because then they'll never have problems themselves. And the next thing is I want to show you this because you can let your whole neck, shoulders, upper back, you can let it all go, and I'm going to show you how to breathe and do that tomorrow. Real powerful. It's not how much you do, it's what you do, guys. You don't need to do 20, 30, 40 different things to have a healthy body. I'm going to show you the most simplest program tomorrow. Okay? So, and then I'm going to show you how to do the pelvic enhancer, which you can't see right now. And I'm going to show you how you can do it at home and how you can do it as soon as the show is over or during the show, you can do it. I'm going to show you how to do the belly button therapy tomorrow. I'm going to show you how to do the pelvic activation squats. There's 3 different ones. All right? So that's tomorrow. So let's begin the show. Okay? Let me see here. All right, we're already getting questions. Bear with me. Mary, wait, no, let me go back. Good day. We were watching the 6-day challenge passing thing yesterday. When you wake up first thing in the morning, you do the Fulvic water, and the salt. Okay. Yep. Are we doing that in the same weight water? Is that okay? Also, my mom is doing Maragen, and so does she do that before the full? Yeah. Okay, so have your mother take the SAC Maragen, and everybody, you can look that up. If you want to know more about Maragen, go to Quick Start at docofdetox.com. You get a 33-page report proving that it's truly the only calcium that actually pulls the calcium back into your bones, okay? Yeah, you would do that first, okay, Stanell? First, get the 15 ounces, put the teaspoon of SAC in, and then wait a half an hour, okay, because it's already gone into the system. Then you can do the flush, all right? And when you do the saltwater flush, just do the saltwater flush. Don't put the Fulvic in with it. You can mix the Fulvic with the rest of the water during the day, okay? Let's just do one thing at a time. Stay with that. And nowhere in the rules do I say put those two together, okay? So let's just do the saltwater flush first, and then we'll start doing the Fulvic. Okay, so saltwater, does she wait 30 minutes later, or does it matter? Yes, it does matter. So do the SAC, wait 30 minutes, and then you're off and running. Mary, is it okay to drink Dandy Blend during a fast? No, it isn't. Well, if you want to do it, but you are going to alter the success of the fast. If you said to me, Dr. Wolfe, if I can't do Dandy Blend, which is a nice herbal drink, it's a detox drink. If you said to me, well, if I can't do that, then I'm not going to be able to fast. I'm going to say, then do it. Let's get through this one like this. And then the next one, you probably feel you don't need it. Right? And I tell people that, if you need support, take a look at doing ATP Plus or Divine Vine or Pineal. They're all the Life Crystal products. And you can combine them or just do one. You can read about them. And if you put a drop or two of super cinnamon in your drinking water, that's going to give you energy and balance your blood sugar levels. And that's usually what people are having trouble with, because 85% of the population is pre-diabetic. Joe, can I use Fibroclear during the water fast? No, but guess what? If you do the water fast, and then I'm going to break the water fast, and I'm going to go on to, let's say, celery juice or bone broth or veggie broth tomorrow, right? Well, when you start those things, I have people that are coming to me and they've got conditions, or do you know what I do? That's what I do. As soon as I break that fast, you don't have to do what I do, but I will take like anywhere from 5 to 10 of these, depending on how busy I am, okay, 3 to 5 times a day. So the reality is taking in the Fibroclear often, and everybody, Fibroclear is a proteolytic enzyme to go in and eat up mutated cells, scar tissue, microcirculation blocks, lactic acid, uric acid. It goes in and gobbles things. No better time than to go in and design when you've done a house cleaning like that. You've done a major house cleaning. Now you're going to go in and gobble up the things that are stuck in there, growths that are inside of you, and go after them. Myself, the more chronic the condition, I have people doing 10, up to 10, maximum 10 times a day. And you're going, he's crazy. Yeah, we should see the results. You should see what happens when you've got that much energy moving throughout the body, and then you've got all these little Pac-Man going in and gobbling up fibroids and mutations and other things like trapped protein particles and just cholesterol congestion, heart problems. That is when you make big changes. If you can't afford it, you do what you can. You don't stress yourself out. So even 3 times a day when you come out of that, okay? When taking ATP, Ormus minerals, can they be taken back to back? Absolutely. Absolutely. Leslie, hi, Dr. Wolfe. Can I put Ormus minerals in the Fulvic water? Absolutely. Ormus minerals can be mixed with anything. Also, first thing in the morning, SAC calcium, wait 30 minutes, and then salt water. Bingo. You got it. Stanell, Hey, this is awesome. When we do Maragen, do we do Fulvic first, salt water first, Maragen first, then salt water, and then go into your Fulvic? Okay? All right, thank you. Marilyn, can we put a few drops of essential oil in with the Maragen? No, Maragen must travel on its own, and it must be drank within a few minutes. It's 15 ounces of water, guys, and a half an hour before and a half hour after, you can't do anything else except drink water. So those are the rules. That's all there is. And you can do the Maragen every 4 hours. Anna, hi, drinking more water helps to reduce swelling. Absolutely, Anna, but you know what? That is an amazing question, because guess what? So, Anna, do you know what people do? They watch a movie or they know someone, they get all excited about working out. They go buy a new pair of Nikes, and then they go and they run 10 miles. And then the next day they're so crippled they can't move. So the reality is the subconscious just undermined them. So if you already have swelling, right, which is water retention, and you're going to find that in the abdomen and in the arms, okay, and you're going to find it in the legs. And what happens is the reason why you have that is because you have blockages in your body. And it's showing usually a kidney blockage. I'm not talking about disease here. And it's also showing the heart is getting weaker. Okay, because everything's about flow. And it's also showing you that you've got scar tissue in your joints. Because the more scar tissue you have, you're blocking off the flow, aren't you? And the more waste you're absorbing from your bowel, that's where it all starts. The large intestine is the holy grail of this whole problem. When people are swelling, retaining water, it's to dilute the fire and the infection. Okay? So the infection creates the fire, but the infection is mainly from the large intestine. And what happens is the waste. Let me tell you something. I don't even hardly know anybody that doesn't have a bowel problem. I don't have a bowel problem, but I've been taking the daily cleansing tea and doing the tummy love and black gold with a program routine like that for the last 30 years. So the reality is my bowel's just going, yeah, I got this. You're not leaking waste into yourself, which we know that the Royal Society of Medicine said that Royal Society of Medicine of Great Britain said that 85% of all disease, minimum, comes from their large intestine. So there you go. So now we got to make sure we look after your large intestine. Okay. And wouldn't hurt if we did some coffee enemas. But the reality is when we start drinking the water, if you're drinking distilled water, reverse osmosis, or even spring water, it's harder to digest. And guess what? The more harder it is to digest, doesn't get in your cells, then it's going to feel like you're swelling up even more until you get all of the corks out of the bottle. So you better be on structured water. If you get on structured water, you'll flush things a lot faster. So if you don't want to get our structured water unit, go find something that will structure your water, okay? All right? And that's going to help you so much. So understand, the only reason why you need to have the water retention is because you're toxic. So bring down your toxic load and remove the blocks, which we talked about how to do. And guess what? You're not going to be swelling. All right? And understand something. Things that swell up are losing energy. All right? A star before it dies becomes bigger than ever. People the bigger they get, the less energy they have. Right or wrong? Right or wrong? Okay? Most of the population is overweight, and the bigger you get, the harder it is even to think. And I'm not putting anybody down, but understand something. Inflammation causes fat cells to grow. And if you've got inflammation in your body, do you think you have it in your brain? Okay. So yes, drinking more water will help, but you got to get the corks out. And what kind of water is it? Ida, can we use hydrogenated water? Yeah, you can use hydrogenated water. Absolutely. You can use any water you want. Okay, any water you want. Chantel, how much water do you put in your salt glow to get the sand consistency? You just said it. It's the consistent to wet sand. So just put in small increments. Put about 4 to 6 ounces in at a time. And I'm using about 10, I'd say I put about 12 ounces, maybe 14 ounces of water. in about 10 pounds of Epsom salts. And then when you add the coconut oil, if you're doing a cocoa salt glow, then it would even make it more liquefied. If you're not doing that, then it wouldn't be as liquefied. Okay? What is your opinion on working out stretching in a hot tub? Well, first of all, there is absolutely nothing better than the pelvic enhancer and the pelvic squat that I'm going to be teaching tomorrow. And if you want to do that in your tub, if your hot tub is chlorinated or has any other chemicals in it, you're in trouble. If you were to get a cup of structured water and just pour it in your hot tub each time before you go in, it structures it and you're protected, even though you might smell the chemical. The reality is you'll never get me in a hot tub with chemicals in it unless I can structure it, because once you structure it, even though you might still smell the chemical, your skin's not going to dry. If you don't believe me, then take a bucket of water, put it in your big pool, okay? So put 1 bucket of water, and then go in there and swim with your eyes under the water, and they won't burn. Why is that? It's the power of structured water. You'd have to ask our creator, because that's what rain is, structured. It's a scientific phenomena, okay? So make sure you structure it. So that's fine. And also, hot tub, if you're stretching in there and it's really, really hot with water, it's not the smartest thing you can do on a fast. If you want to do that not on a fast, but on a fast, it's not the smartest thing to do, because guess what? All your energy has gone into your core that for most people is dropping on the floor to try to pick it up and heal it. So when you go in there and you do that, you're going to bring the blood supply out to your limbs, and you could faint or make yourself feel like you're going to throw up. Don't steal your body's energy to do something else, okay? Glenda, what do you recommend for eyes health? My optometrist says my retinas are starting to tear and I have small cataracts starting to form. Guess what? You miss blue light. Okay, I guarantee you, Glenda, you either watch a lot of TV, you work on a computer for a job, or you're on your phone all the time staring at it. Okay? And you probably work in an office which has tons of blue light. And that's the only way this happens. Or you're an alcoholic. I'm not calling you this either. And you love sugar and you're addicted to it, because you have to be creating so much inflammation in the brain. Now, when we create inflammation in the brain, and one of the ways that is causing everyone to get cataracts, glaucoma, detached retina, macular degeneration, all different floaters, I could keep going, is blue light. Blue light is at the core of it all. Okay? Do you remember back 50 years ago, 75 years ago, you could be 85, 90, you might have reading glasses, maybe, and you could be reading it by a candlelight. Today it's like, and understand something, the more you inflame your brain, the faster and the more thicker the cataract. They're not going to tell you that, are they? 99% of all cataracts are caused from blue light and from inflammation on the brain. So you're either stressing the hell out of yourself, or you've got a very, very high sugar flour diet, chemical diet, and if you're stressing yourself all the time, you're dumping all these negative chemicals, right, and hormones. So here's the deal. If you wanted to reverse that, I probably can't see it, but here, I don't know, can you see that? Okay. Can you see it now? It's close enough? Higher? Okay, that's called a bioptron. I'll show it tomorrow. You get yourself a bioptron. You use the Fulvic eye drops. You use the silver bullet eye drops. And you learn to do clapping on the eyes and around the eyes. It's all about circulation. And you get yourself a pair of Tesla glasses. Now, you might say, well, that's a lot of money. Well, I don't know. Is it worth your eyesight? And I can tell you right now, I'll give you a money-back guarantee that it's going to save your butt. And that if you were to have Tesla glasses on and use those as your sunglasses, use those when you're in and around any blue light and you were doing the eye drops, like I just said, and the patting and the clapping. And if you got yourself an eye cup and you put a silver drops in and you did a eye wash twice a day of the Fulvic and the silver, and where you put a little bit in the eye cup and then you blink your eye and really wash it, because if you've got starting to get cataracts, then we know that you've got a thickening of the mucus layer on the back of your eye. So I had a lady call me yesterday and said, wow, I'm doing your routine and, I'm starting to see better. Now I got all these floaters. And I said, yeah, those floaters are coming because of all the congestion that was on the back of your eye. Just go get an eye cup and really start to flush that out. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about another gentleman. He's like about 82 years old, and he was supposed to have cataract surgery, and he's been working on our protocol. Now remember, 82 years old, and he's doing this protocol, and after 5 months, his cataracts have gone down by 40%. 80 years old. And you know what his optometrist said? That's impossible. Well, we usually make the possible, all right? Okay. So check that out. Let me see here. Debbie, would SAC help someone with bad knees? She was told she needed knee surgery. I'll tell you this one thing right now, Debbie. If you can get her here, okay, I will do one treatment on her. And we did this already for tens of thousands of people, so I can say that because it's true. I've been doing this since I was 28 years old. That's when I put Wolfe Non-Surgical together. And I've given a money-back guarantee that you're not going to go to surgery. Do you get that? Who else gives a money-back guarantee? And you can say, well, that's pretty cocky. No, it's not. I need to show people that their body will heal once we get the beef jerky that's wrapped around their knee. Yeah, but my doctor said that there's no cartilage left. And I'm telling you it's still in there. I'm telling you that it's calcified, crystallized, and doesn't show up on the x-ray, and it's thinned out like a piece of beef jerky, and we're going to get it to come back. That's what I'm going to say. So let me see, what was the question here? Yeah, the SAC is going to help, but it's not going to turn it around. It might bring down the pain, okay? Yeah, because it helps to bring the calcium away and bring down the inflammation. But if she were to come here, I'll guarantee that she's not going to surgery, and she can have the knees of a young girl again. How's that? Anna, how to make structural water? Well, yeah. Well, this is how we do it. You just put this under any tap anywhere around the world. People think I'm nuts, and they go, oh, well, some health practitioner he is. He doesn't even buy bottled water. Well, bottled water is more toxic sometimes than tap water. And we also know that when you run water through a structure unit and it comes out the other end, even though it may still have the chemical in it, I'm sorry, guys, but this is the God's truth, all right? Or it still might have a heavy metal in it. It doesn't bother the human body. So I know that's hard to take, and you don't have to believe it, but just know this. If you don't want to believe me, that's great. At least get the water that you think you'd like to get, or filter your water, and then structure it. You've got 90 days, and if you don't think that I was right, then you can send back your Doc of Detox structure unit, okay? That's that. You got nothing to lose. All right. Also, is it safe to do a mental detox while breastfeeding? I don't know what you mean by mental detox. I mean, like, would you be going for consultation with someone and they helped you to mentally? Of course, the happier the mommy is, the happier the baby. If you're terrorizing yourself, you're terrorizing the child. I'm going to tell you something right now. We have put together a program that's called The Perfect Pain-Free Pregnancy, where we teach couples on an emotional level, nutritional level, and physical level how to treat themselves and each other and have the healthiest baby. And how would you like to deliver your baby in 30 minutes or less? And I don't care who you are. It's all about the mind. It's all about contraction of scar tissue crystallization, inflammation, okay, constipation, all of these things. We've proved it so often. Women who said they'll never be able to get pregnant. Men who said they can't do it because their sperm count's no good, they get pregnant within weeks to months. Worst case scenario, I haven't seen much. I've seen people getting pregnant. So the reality is, and if you look at it, how many women are losing babies or they're taught that they're told they might lose their baby, and that's because the pelvic floor is disintegrating because of the putrefaction that they've been absorbing from their large intestine, because how else could you have a soup bowl of toxic waste and inflammation? Okay? The only reason why it takes a minute, guys, because more questions are coming up and this pops up. Can we drink cleansing tea during? Okay, if you're not going to do the saltwater flush, then do the cleansing tea during. Because the best way to stop doing this fasting is to have your bowels slow up. You cannot do that. That's like, okay, it's like traffic's backed up 20 miles out of the city because what? Because there's a block. We can't do that. Keep it unblocked. Very important. Okay? Kim, where can we see all videos at one place? Because I missed the other one on your website. Well, where are these videos going? Yeah, and are they going to? They're in the do it. Well, they're in the do it yourself section of YouTube. All of them are going up there. That's the one place you can go and watch the whole 6 days if you wanted, and that's where you're going to find the first one, which was 2 hours, where I went and laid out the ground rules. Right? Okay. What is the best way to get through a fast if you're surrounded by negative people? Don't do it. Leave. Don't be around them. That's the deal. You got to understand something. Do I totally love all my family and friends? Yep. Do I have family that are really negative? Yep. Do I call them a lot? Nope. Do I visit them a lot? No. And are they allowed to have different beliefs than me? And I will totally love them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody is allowed to have different beliefs than me. Everyone. And I will totally love them. That's what this world is about. But the reality is, if I wanted to do a fast and it was my house, I would lay the ground rules down lovingly and I'd be able to do that fast because I am the lion of the house. Now, if I wasn't that and I didn't have control, then it's a nice time of year. I'd go by a lake that's pure water, take my stuff, get a tent, meditate, contemplate, hang out with nature, and I would fast away and heal myself. And understand something, you can believe this or not believe this. You can go and throw $35,000 US to $40,000 for 2 weeks of therapy. And I'm not saying that it doesn't work. I'm not saying it doesn't help. But if you come back to because you have cancer or some other disease, if you come back to the same environment, you're going to have the same disease come back. Good luck with that one. So the reality is, what are you going to do to create the environment internally and externally that you were told you could always have? Now, have I pissed my family off? Absolutely. I lovingly will hold the line, and if I know that I'm not coming up against them or doing anything, terrorizing them, physically or emotionally abusing them, and I'm coming from my heart, and I'm coming from my Christian beliefs, and I'm coming from what I believe is right, and that is in harmony with nature, and that what I've learned throughout my time here on this planet, I'm going to hold the line. And you'll always know in your heart of hearts, if you're quiet, you'll know it's the right decision. And then they'll have a tantrum. But understand something. Just as a baby has a tantrum on the floor, he learned it from his parents. And his parents are still having it. So if I say something, and even one of my family members or workers want to have a tantrum, I go, yeah, you can do that. But guess what? go take it outside, go walk with it, but it's not going to change. Because the only thing that I want in my home and in my environment is people to honor, love, and respect themselves. And understand something. People that totally love, honor, and respect themselves and believe in total love for themselves and totally filling up their own heart will never tear their family apart or anything else. I do not go out destructing anything. I don't. You may think I do. Oh my God, his beliefs don't match mine. Well, of course they don't. My beliefs are my beliefs. But the thing is that we shouldn't be looking to see if our beliefs match each other. We should see if our beliefs are in line with total love and respect and honor and with moral integrity. I mean, just ask yourself all the time, is this morally right? Okay. Yeah, so negative people? Well, I don't know. If they're negative friends, what are you doing with them? Move on. And the reality is, even if you go and do a physical detox, as soon as you go out to hang around with them again because you have a lonely, broken heart, you're going to get your sickness again because your diseases are part of your personality. And the people you hang around with are part of your reality. So unless you change the people you're hanging around with and the things you do and the habits you have, you'll never change your personality, so you'll never change your reality. So just try to get as comfortable as possible with the disease, which means you're just not in harmony with nature. All right? Joyce Kelly wants to know, she weighed 115 pounds before starting her first fast a few months ago. This is the second time she has done the 6-day fast. Between the last fast and the fast she's been doing, the perfect day diet, and now she weighs 99 pounds. She feels fine and looks good, but she wants to make sure she knows if she's losing too much weight or is it possible to lose too much weight. Well, for one thing, you should be doing intermittent fasting now, Joyce. And what's your age? I think you're up there in age. So the more you are up in age, and if you're already slimmed down, so what is it? What are the physical blocks you're trying to get rid of? So I think that if your weight is at this place, you should be working on your emotional more than your physical, but doing intermittent fasting and one day fast, maybe a week if you really wanted it for spiritual awareness, and then maybe a 3-day a month. But why would you be doing more than that? No 6-day is needed here. Okay? All right? So, and if you're doing a lot of other good things for yourself, and understand something, Joyce, if you're not working out, then you're not losing weight, you're losing muscle. So understand this, I have hardly worked out in the last probably 4 weeks, and I already feel like I'm losing some muscle, and I'm going to be 64 years old. And if I don't work out 20 minutes a day where I'm doing my stretching and my Avicin light pelvic enhancer, great. But I need to do 20 minutes a day of stretching and breathing, but then I need to do 20 minutes a day of weight bearing and cardiovascular. And that's the way I'm going to stay young. Are you going to do that, Joyce? Because you're going to need to do that. So understand something. Here's the deal. Are you ready for this? Most people don't have any muscle left, Joyce. And the reality is a lot of people are only standing up because of the beef jerky. The beef jerky is holding them, the knots. You go in and get rid of the beef jerky and they feel like, whoa, because you got to build your muscle back up. So if you want to have a beautiful life, flexibility, elasticity, tonicity, then you got to work with this. The thing is that, Joyce, we are so screwed up down here. We think medical care is health care. Okay? And don't tell me, because it wouldn't be like this, but most people take drugs for every 10 years they've been alive. And most people eat garbage foods. And the reality is we're so far off from our human potential because everybody has a superhuman being living inside of them. Okay. So now that I just lost it all here. Okay, so between the last fast, she's losing. Okay, that's about all I can say, Joyce. Joyce Kelly also wants to know, she feels a little weak this morning. Well, have been giving her extra ATP. She is doing the Avicin also. All the day she has been fully energetic and feeling great. Is this just detoxifying? Yes, it probably is. Okay? But the reality is, Joyce, I'm telling you right now, keep stressful people away from you. I'm going to tell you right now that people who lose more weight than they need to when they're fasting are usually because they have a monkey mind, or their adult children are terrorizing them because they can't get their act together. And the problem is with mothers that love and care, okay, they think they're responsible for everything the child does, no matter if the mother's 90 and the child's 70. And women are taught to totally suffer for everyone in the family. You got to mind your own business. And your own business, Joyce, is really totally looking after yourself. Okay. Shanti, is it safe to do a heavy metal detox while breastfeeding? Okay, so it wasn't mental. It was metal. Okay, so no. But guess what? Why do we need to ever do that? If you're taking, and I do mean ours, Doc of Detox Fulvic, okay? And I apologize, everyone, but if you take RC60 and you get on our Sinonian minerals, which we've had trouble getting on the shelf here, but they'll be on the shelf in 6 weeks, and you get on our infinite iodine, which is 10,000 times smaller than Pico, and Pico's 1,000s of times smaller than Nano, and Nano's thousands of times smaller than colloidal, then you're going to rock your world. You could do, on the fast, you could do the iodine, infinite iodine, if I didn't have all these problems with FDA facilities shutting down and not making our product. So we have to have FDA-approved facilities with a lot of our products. But they'll all be up in 6 weeks. The next time that we do the advanced water fast, I'll be able to utilize these things, because if things are so small that the digestive tract cannot pick them up and it bypasses the Krebs cycle, we can rocket ship. But just understand something. Our fulvic acid is the best heavy metal chelator in the world. So you take that on a daily basis. I mean, it's in our tummy love. On the fast, you can't do tummy love orally, but you can do the fulvic acid, which will load itself up with any nutrients that are floating in the body, drop them off in the cell, and then load itself up with 3 times its weight of heavy metals and acidity. Nothing's better than the fulvic acid. Okay. Can I fast while breastfeeding? Not this, you can't. You can do intermittent fasting. You could do a 1-day fast, and you might want to pass that by your doctor, and then it's your body. But I am not your doctor. Talk to your doctor. But the reality is, with my children, okay, that was the guidelines that we went by. Intermittent fasting, 1 day a week fasting. That was it, and that's fine. And the other thing is that if you're breastfeeding and you fast, you might find that your milk supply is going to go down, and you don't want that. And the time to fast is before you decide to get pregnant. So yeah, but we didn't know we were going to get pregnant. That's why you have to build fasting, advanced water fasting, into your daily life, into your, not every day, but into your lifestyle. Okay. Is nasty tap water that has 5G poles over the outside of the water tank then comes into your house okay if we use for structured water? Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, it is. You can, if you structure that water, it will neutralize the 5G in it. I know it's hard to believe. It's just running through this, but it will. Or you can get an under-counter unit, or you can get a whole house unit. Anna, does water fasting help Hashimoto sickness and help to become pregnant? Yeah, of course it would. And there's other things as well. I would definitely want you to take a look at our infinite iodine as soon as it comes in, our Sinonian minerals, the divine vine, those 3 things, okay? You want to look at those 3 things, all right? There's other things that you can do. But everybody, like I told you before, just commit $125. It's so easy to just spend it. Commit $125. We'll give you a $25 credit for product. And if you don't want to use it for product, then give the $25 to someone and let them use it to get a consult. So I want to make it as easy as possible. No stumbling blocks, no hurdles, and that's it. And get yourself a consult and get yourself a coach. What would it be like to have a life coach? All right? Does water... Oh, and you know what? Never forget about when we do the clapping again, or go watch the clapping if you've never seen it on the do-it-yourself on YouTube. Does water fasting... Okay. Tracy, how often do you recommend the coffee enemas? This question comes up all the time. Don't be afraid to call me, but once a day during the fast. If you feel so weak you can't do one, then don't do one. But if you're really toxic and it makes you feel good to do one and you feel like you need another one that night, do it. The most important thing is to do it right. So read the instructions of the Ultimate Coffee Enema. And also make sure you have a very peaceful place. You know, nobody bother me for the next hour. Turn your phone off. Put some soft music on. Get yourself in the right space. That's what I would do. Okay? Hi, Dr. Wolfe. I have no income. Have to import the SAC calcium, which costs a lot with import costs. Would crushed, dried, boiled eggshells provide my daily calcium sufficiently? Your best calcium is actually going to come from seeds, nuts, and vegetables. And go take a look online and they'll tell you. I am in my late, but crushed eggshells will help you to get rid of parasites, because when you powderize them, the parasites will go in and try to eat it, and it'll slice their intestines, and oops, they're gone, just like razor blades. I'm in my late 40s. It says often on Google, eggshells can be ground into powder and then be mixed with water. Food daily take 2.5 grams. Should be enough to meet requirements. I'll tell you right now, good luck with that. Good luck with that. That is about as goofy as all the other calcium supplements I know. And you don't have to do Maragen. Why don't you get Megagen? Megagen is the least expensive. And so what if it takes you longer to reverse your calcium problem? So what? At least you're doing it. But I don't believe the eggshell thing, not for a second. And scientifically, prove it to me. That's what I say. I always like people to say, go show me the science on that one. Okay, Saul, Dr. Wolfe, what do I have to do to keep focused? Learn how to stay connected to your breath. Do the Lionheart breathing and get yourself a Love Band Life Band. And every time you go to the bathroom, into a bathroom, you don't leave there until you look in the mirror and you say, you know what, Saul, today I'm going to love, respect, and honor you. I'm going to stay in the present moment, stay connected to my breath. I'm going to use my Love Band Life Band maybe even 30 times, because when you do this, it brings you right back, snaps you back to the present moment. And that's what you have to do. If you practice being in the present moment, you will. The reason why we're in this, every time we're in a world mess, is because you're not in the present moment. They got you fearing for your future. I don't fear my future, okay? I do know that majority rules, but it's not going to rule. What's going to happen is there's going to be a revolution, okay? And it's coming. Understand something. Logical thinking people do not break laws or rules that the government makes. Oh, go 30 miles an hour down the street. Yeah, I got it. Logical. Okay. Oh, have 5G. Not. Vaccinate your children with aluminum. No, I don't think so. With dead fetus cells. No, thank you. Not today. Oh, here. Vaccinate your children with something that's never been tested. The reality is this. Where in the heck is the logic? So everything we do, even with fasting, be logical about it. I'm underweight. Then what are you doing a 6-day fast for? We need to get the fire down. We need to get you hydrated. We need to get your minerals back up. Let's use our noodle. Okay? So this is why I tell everyone, and I'm pushing hard, and we had a big decision to make, to drop from $250 down to $125 and then give you a $25 product thing. But I can do that because I am infinite, and I know that we can do things that nobody else does when we know that we are full of potential. Wendy, can I do clapping on my breast? I have a little lump in it. That would be lump, not pump. Anyways, little pump. I don't think she has a pump. Must be a lump. Yes. And what I would say to you is, Wendy, maybe you want to, because you have lots of questions, maybe you want to get a consult from Karen. That's who I would do it. Karen had a fairly dangerous situation with her breast. And she's going to teach you how to do it. What's it worth to be the master of your breasts? Okay. And of course, clapping is great. You know what? Clapping is the best diagnosis you can have on this planet, and I'll be teaching that. All right. Adriana. Dr. Darrell, I asked yesterday about the Pain Away and the Vein Away oil, how to use it. Can you send me an email? Well, the Pain Away, you can put it anywhere on your body, and it's absolutely for pain. The Vein Away, you're going to put it anywhere where you have vein problems, like varicose veins. It's as simple as that. We'll talk about that maybe more. I'm not really sure. It's just not complicated. You know, it's like this. The bigger the area, the more drops you use. And with anything with pain and varicose veins or anything, I tell people to do it every 15 minutes. Just do enough to wet the area that you're considering working on, but it's coming at it. It's not a drug. It's a high vibrational food that reduces the pain because it's creating harmony and it heals the area. Okay? If anybody has questions that are more specific, everybody's different. And this is why we tell people to opt in and get a perfect day consultation. Jacinta, will the cleansing tea turn on digestion? Let's put it this way. It'll trigger the large intestine. It doesn't trigger your stomach. It doesn't trigger your small intestine. It will trigger more in the detox organs. So it will trigger your liver. It will trigger your kidneys, your lymph, and it will trigger your bowels. But I said that if you can't do the saltwater flush, then you want to consider doing the tea, because I don't want you to stop it. And if you don't want to do the tea, don't want to do the saltwater flush, then do a warm water enema if you don't want to do an ultimate coffee enema right now, and mix a tablespoon of tummy love in there and just follow the instructions. There's your alternatives, okay? So it's not about the tea. It's not about anything. It's doing what you need to do to pull this off and prove to yourself that you got this. That's what it's about, and it's really important, okay? All right. Number 6, what about coffee during the fast? Well, I really tell you not to do it. Not to do it. If you are feeling like you need a coffee or you're going to quit the fast, then just try maybe a quarter cup, dilute it down, a quarter cup, and dilute it down to a half a cup of water, because you're taking it only as a remedy to calm the beast. Okay? Matt, I'm 37 and my eyes are starting to go a little, liver, and that's a bowel problem. Do you think I should do a 10-day water fast, then 10-day carrot juice with eye exercise? Well, I think you should be doing coffee enemas, and I think you should be cleansing out your bowel and doing the perfect day diet. And then I think you should keep up with the coffee enemas, because it's usually the liver that is the big underlying culprit. And if you work on a computer, you better get Tesla eyewear, and you better use the Humic and Fulvic eye drops. And also, if you nebulize and you breathe it in, you'll get the actual vapor of the silver bullet liquid and the Fulvic eye drops in the back of the eyes. Or you can do get yourself an eye cup. You get it from the drugstore. Put about half a teaspoon in and do an eye cup try to do it for about 30 seconds. Keep opening your eye and swishing it so it gets really in there and soaks. All right? And of course, the carrot juice is going to help. Of course, the fasting is going to help. But Matt, we don't know what's going on with you. Are you overweight? Are you depressed? Have you had any surgeries? What medications are you on? So it's very difficult. Again, like I said, opt in. We've made it as simple and as least expensive as possible. Augusta, hi, Dr. Wolfe. My daughter, and remember, everybody that signs up and does a case history, I walk through that with one of the master consultants, and then they take over, and then we talk about your situation as time goes on. It's the only way that we can do people is if I just oversee and they run with it. My Augusta, hi, Dr. Wolfe. My daughter and I love the humic acid. I have also purchased the full fulvic acid as well. Can you combine them into one serving? Absolutely. One more thing, I am having several stomach issues. All of a sudden, meat is especially red meat and coffee bother me. Have low appetite. Bowels, get on the daily cleansing tea, the tummy love, and those two. And then if it's affordable, do the black gold. And understand something. If you're doing coffee, make sure you can mix make bulletproof. And that's where you mix a little bit of butter and organic butter, just a little bit. And also coconut oil. All right, but you can look that up. Low appetite. Well, low appetite usually means that you're all bunged up. Okay, your appetite's shutting down because you're not detoxifying properly. Would like to add tummy love to my regime, but I am a little confused with the ingredients. It is a combination. It's a combination of humic and fulvic, and also homeopathic frequencies that will really work on benefiting the good bacteria. Because the reality is we don't want to take good bacteria. We want to reinstate mommy's good bacteria. Understand, even if you had chemo and radiation, you still got mommy's good bacteria. And remember something, it's all about environment, guys. It's all about environment. Until the environment is healthy, you're not going to get healthy. That's it. And that's the bottom line. It'll only last until your money runs out. Okay? So somewhere along the line, you're going to have to try to find the perfect day and implement things where you take personal massive action, loving and caring for yourself, and not so much personal massive action on the visa. Okay? Jacinta, should we space out the fulvic, ATP, and Ormus minerals? You can put the fulvic and the Ormus together. The ATP just goes in your mouth, hold for 1 minute, and swallow. And you can do that anytime you want. Okay, now, Heidi, if you're watching the show, give me a call right now, but you'll have to do it right now. Okay? That's 855-900-4544, extension 5, and I will give you a couple minutes to call. And if not, we'll have to do it tomorrow. Oh, Sandra, 5G questions, see handwritten notation. Okay, I don't know what that is. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes, and then we'll have to shut down for today. Okay, Kim, I had lung cancer, had right side 2 lobes removed. I'm worried about the 5G killing me. From what I understand, it isn't good for respiratory systems. Thoughts, and I would like the thing you wear as a necklace. What is it? I've never heard of it, and how do I protect myself against 5G? Okay, I'm going to tell you how to protect yourself against 5G right now. So just take it or leave it, or go find something else. I'm just answering her question, please. Okay? Just want to see if that's her. Okay, so let me answer the question. First of all, a week from today, I have a week from today. Can you give me the cell guard? A week from today, I've got Dr. Howard Fisher on, and I will be talking about this. It's called a cell guard. You see that little white thing in the corner? Okay, right here. It's very small. All right. Is it her? Then have her wait. Just have her wait. Thank you. Anyways, the cell guard goes on your phone. This is the best protector for the phones. Do your research. Don't believe me, but it's inexpensive. I think it's like $40. Okay. Then the next thing is, this is called a bodyguard, and 2 weeks from today, I'm going to have Peter Webb on, and Peter Webb is one of the top people in the world in radionics. Trust me, when you hear about him, or if you've seen him, you know he is. And right from farming to get animals to stop dying from 5G and Wi-Fi, EMF. I mean, he can reduce the death of animals, children, people, and that's what he does. This here is made out of a crystal. This is called a bodyguard. This will do 6 feet from my head up, 6 feet from my side out, and 6 feet from my feet down. And it creates a barrier. I'll let him explain it more. Look, you got a money-back guarantee. Don't break it. Okay, don't wreck it. But you don't like it, you send it back. All right? Because there's so much stuff out there, I understand. I'd be leery too. And then I have people going, oh my gosh, now there's the voodoo, Dr. Wolfe. Well, everything is frequency. If I'm smiling, it's up. If I'm depressed, my frequency is down. An apple has a frequency, a donut has a lower one. Why aren't we capable of creating beautiful harmonic frequencies that help to feed us if they can go and create negative frequencies to destroy us? Guys, please, think logically, that's all. And the only reason why I'm saying this, everybody, is every week I talk about, somebody says talk about this, and then on Facebook, or people call me up and go, you know what, I just started to like you. And now this whole voodoo thing. So guys, please, I don't want to hear about that stuff anymore. If you don't like it, fine, keep your opinion to yourself. Because the reality is, we are light, frequency, magnetic beings. That's it. Now, here they are, guys. You want to see them? They're beautiful. These are all the colors. You'll see them on our website if you go to EMF/light. And you can also watch the videos about these. And I'm not done yet. This comes in this aqua green color. It also comes in red. Can I see it? It also comes in red. And this will cover a house, right? You have to put it in the center of the house. If you put it in your bedroom, you're not going to sleep because the energy is really strong. And if you don't believe me, put it in your bedroom and see how that works, okay? But it's a good healing energy, all right? And then the other thing that we have is this. So if you want to call me or call and talk, the lady who asked the question, please call, I'll help you. And this is called Wi-Fi. And this is scalar technology. This is Tesla technology. All right? So understand, it's all about science. I mean, the same guy that actually powered New York City by just taking the electricity out of the etheric. He did it, you know. And this is called scalar. So if we can make bad frequencies, we can make good ones to help to collapse those. Let me tell you something. When I travel, this comes with me to my room, and so does this. If the room is small, I can't take this. Okay, so I'll tell you about a gentleman who has a 600 square foot apartment, okay? And his wife just got pregnant. So they wanted protection because he has 30 different Wi-Fis on his phone, which means they're being bombarded. He put that in the apartment, but it's 600 square feet. Believe it or not, he had to put it on his porch, and it was still creating that harmonic frequency, but it had to be on the porch. So, and this is somebody who didn't believe it, who bought it because his wife made him do it because she's pregnant. Okay. So anyways, and the Wi-Fi's, I just told my IT guy that we will put 30% off on all Wi-Fi's, and we're going to keep it that way for a while because people really need to start supporting themselves. So you can go take a look at that if you want. Okay. All right. I'm going to do this call, everyone, and then it'll be all over for today. Hi, can I help you? Can you turn off your computer, please? Turn off your computer. It's bad
I
enough.
just
It's
needed.
it's bad enough. It's bad enough that I have to listen to myself once. How about twice? Whoa. Okay, I'm kidding. So how can I help you?
Okay. Hi. Hi, Dr. Wolfe. Good morning or afternoon. This is Heidi
Hi.
calling from Texas.
Hi.
So I called you earlier. I called you earlier. That was yesterday. To
And
ask
speak a little
about
louder too,
fungal
please.
tumor.
Speak a little louder too,
Oh,
please.
okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I just want you to speak a little louder. That's all. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
That's
You think?
better. That's better,
Okay,
love.
louder?
Thank you. No, that's great. You're doing great.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hi, this is Heidi. Good morning or afternoon, Dr. Wolf. I am calling from Texas, and I just had a quick question. I don't know where you've been, but I just started. I just heard about you yesterday, and I started watching you yesterday, and I'm glad to meet you.
Nice to meet
So
you, love.
I've been so inspired. But I have a quick question. I called you earlier. That was yesterday.
Yes, love. Please
Asking about a
just
fungal
go
tumor.
ahead. It's okay. Just take a deep breath and then
Okay.
let's just ask me
Okay.
the questions, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So breast cancer.
T-
Diagnosed 2013.
Okay, 1 second. You're going to have to speak
So
louder, okay? So you got breast cancer and it was in 2013?
yeah, I was diagnosed
Okay.
2013. That was
Okay,
when
now can
I
I ask
got that call.
okay, I'm going to ask you some questions just to make it easier, okay, love? Was it your right or left breast?
Okay. It's the left.
It's the left breast. Okay. All right. So, the next thing, so that was in 2013. Did you have surgery? Did you have chemo or radiation?
I just did surgery in 2014 to get the tumor out, and I declined every other treatment, conventional treatment.
How big was the tumor?
It was about, I don't remember, but maybe two centimeters, maybe.
Okay, Drake, can you make sure that we play the video and show how I took down that 2-inch tumor and made it 90% smaller in 20 minutes? So I want you to understand before we go any further, okay? When we talk about a fibroid or a tumor, now doctors will call even fibroids tumors, and that scares the living crap out of people. So was it cancerous? And then I'm going to ask you another question, or no, say something. Even if it was cancerous, that 2 centimeter, and you know that it's 2.2 centimeters in an inch. So that was only 3/4 of an inch, correct? So that was not big. So understand something. Most of that was made out of scar tissue crystallization. I want you to get that. You didn't make a mistake. We can only do what we know better at the time. So understand that. But you're asking me a question, so we need to move forward with this. When they take that out, I'm not telling, unless it's an emergency, I wouldn't let my wife do it. So the reality is, but that's my wife. I'm not telling anybody what to do here. I am not giving medical advice about surgery. I'm giving natural advice about your body. So when they go in and they take out the tumor, but let's just call it a growth. Let's not let them dramatize the living heck out of us. So I've got this nodule. Let's call it that. Let's call it a nodule. Okay? Because your mind is always listening. Remember something. When you go to a doctor and he says things, I need you not to take the drama out of his office and bring it into your mind and into your life. That's the first thing. The mind dictates everything. So now, okay, what's going on? Well, I've got a nodule. Okay, so the reality is we know it's mainly scar tissue crystallization, maybe a little bit of displaced calcium. So what would happen if we actually went in there and we did Wolfe non-surgical and we worked on your sternum, we worked under your breast, on top of your breast, okay, and we actually used the Avicin and increased your circulation by 66%, 100% more than any other device can do, and we actually used the Bioptron light, And then we actually taught you how to do patting and clapping on your breast to increase your circulation, maybe even triple your circulation by doing that. And then we went in and we did and used Wolfe non-surgical, and we actually pulled that fibroid nodule apart. And then we started using things like Pain Away, frankincense, and we used DMSO, okay? And we kept on using Bioptron Light. We used Avicin to increase the circulation. And we taught you how to open up your pelvis, cleanse your colon and your liver, and get you on a fasting regime or at least a perfect day diet. So now that you've got the nodule cut out, the problem here is wherever they cut it out, it creates scar tissue. Every surgery creates more scar tissue than any other thing you can do in the world. So after you had that, if we lived in a world that had full disclosure, it would be Heidi. As the scar tissue is healing, you should be using some DMSO rose cream. You should be using essential oils and moringa oil to help to heal that. And when it's completely healed, we should go in there, what's called Wolfe non-surgical, and pull the roots of the scar tissue that was created by the trauma. When you take a knife into the human body, every cell has consciousness. Every cell in the body has the same organs as the human does. A brain, a kidney, a liver. It has everything. And it has feeling. It has feeling. Every cell is alive. So when the knife goes in, it actually terrorizes the cells. And they go into the same dramatic trauma state that most people are doing right now in their homes, being in lockdown. And the actual cells go into lockdown. They panic and they freak. And so this creates a high inflammatory problem in the area. So people say, well, surgery could cause it to spread. Well, I don't think it's that causes it to spread more than anything when they say cells will mutate. Because if you even had cancer in your breast, those same cancer cells are floating throughout the whole body. It's actually the terrorism of the knife going in and the actual mental trauma in the brain that causes more inflammation. And then wherever the next weak spot is in the body, you could have a blowout. So now you've got the scar tissue, beef jerky in your breast, which is a beaver dam. It's stopping energy from flowing. It's stopping proper lymph flow, proper blood flow. So it's got stagnation in that area. So that's why we'll find, and I don't even know if this is the story, that usually we'll find a tumor or growth or pain or calcium deposits in that area where the scar tissue is, because everything, whether it's a car accident, a sports injury, surgery, or just a chronic health problem called arthritis, colitis, okay, or even after hip surgery, you have to go in and get rid of the scar tissue. Because a person will even say, well, I don't feel pain anymore, but it feels hard, or I feel stiff, or I'm not able to do what I used to do. So scar tissue is the issue. Now continue your story.
Okay, so that was the surgery was 2014, so that's 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And then after surgery, I just did, as of that time, what I knew, all the natural treatments that I heard about and read about, and I just really tried to stay away from doctors, traditional doctors. And the tumor came back in 2016 when, lost my mom.
1 second, love. 1 second. Where did the tumor come back to?
The same spot.
Okay, everybody. There you go. This wasn't a setup, was it, Heidi? You said you wanted to call. You said you had a breast problem. I said call tomorrow and we'll talk about it. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so understand something. So now what we got is we've got a physical block created from scar tissue, which is the worst block in the world, and the worst scar tissue in the world is from surgery. Boom. That's why cesareans after a cesarean, that's why after any surgery, there's always complications and there's more surgery and there's more drugs and oh my gosh, so it all gets pretty goofy. So now we've got where you have the biggest physical scar tissue block in the body, and then when your mother passes on, and please don't get me wrong here, but the more that we learn how to love and honor and respect ourselves, the worse damage we do when a loved one leaves. if a loved one is responsible for filling up your heart 90%, you can pretty well be sure that you're going to get cancer. If they fill up your heart 50%, if you made them responsible for that, unknowingly, subconsciously, you're looking at cancer. So you know what? I don't make anybody responsible in my life for filling up my heart. I give all the love that I can to my family, and if today they don't feel like giving me love, if I can help them out with something, I'm going to, but I'm not going to make them responsible. We are taught as children, when we come as a baby, it's called unconditional love. You're allowed to love yourself totally, and everybody thinks you're amazing. Once you start to walk and talk and act like your parents, you get punished for totally loving yourself. And don't tell me no, because that's the biggest thing that cripples everyone. And then they send us to kindergarten, and then they tell us we got to pass that, we got to do this, and we get out of high school, and then we got to go to university. And even if we don't go there, by the time we're done, we're not educated, okay? We're programmed. So the whole way through life, we're continually programmed. So the biggest thing I can tell you right now, Heidi, and maybe you're not looking for this, but the sooner you get into my Braveheart 12 loving steps and do the mirror work, don't you dare go into a bathroom anymore unless you go in there and you go, Heidi, I'm so sorry. I promise to look after you. I promise to fill you up with love every day completely. I promise to respect you. I promise to honor you. I promise to cherish you, and I promise to hold the loving line. I will not let Dr. Wolfe or anybody else, okay, tell me what I have to do. If it doesn't feel right, I'm going to speak my word, and that is it. I'm going to love and honor and respect myself for the first time in my life. And it doesn't matter if it's Dr. Wolfe or my son or my daughter or the aunt or the uncle that I used to let to disrespect me because they disrespect themselves. I will now understand that everybody runs subconscious programs. I will love everyone, but guess what? I will love myself first and foremost and hold the loving line and allow people to have dysfunctional beliefs so that I do not get angry, so that I do not get depressed. I will observe now and I will not judge. And I will definitely go in there and get rid of that scar tissue issue. What else would you like to say? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. It sounds good. Yes, I can do that.
I know, but don't be afraid to challenge me. Did I just BS you, or what do you think?
No, you're right. You're right, sir. You are right.
So when your mother left,
Right on point. Yes.
when your mother left, how did you feel?
I felt because, Dad had already gone, and the problem is, I'm in the U.S. I have no family here, so at the same time, 15 years marriage, with 3 kids, so I was left, we separated the same time. Mom passed, so all that stress. So I'm trying to say that was the same time, that I noticed.
You know what?
Come back.
It was the perfect storm. And all I need you to do, it's not going to make you feel better, but you were taught not to honor, love, and respect yourself. And that will be the hardest challenge you have, because in a man's society, we teach women that when something's wrong, they need to suffer more than anyone else. And that's how they show their love. And by the time they're 40 or 50, they feel like an empty shell and they don't know who they are. But now it's going to be up to you to make sure that you live your passion, whatever that is. What have you always wanted to do? What have you always wanted to do?
Helping people.
Okay, well then there it is.
Helping people.
I swear to God,
That's my passion.
I swear to God that I will do. Lost her. Can I have that charger? Okay. Can you bring it over here? So anyways, everyone, I'm going to bring her back on. If you have to go, I understand that. I got to finish what I started. Can you unwrap that? And maybe tomorrow we can make sure we have a charger here. Okay. All right. So I need everyone to get this. We're not all so different. Tell her I'll call her back. Tell her to call me back in a minute. Can you hear me? Yes, sir. Okay, put it loud. No, don't. That was me. Okay. I was looking at it going, I know we can make it. I know we can make it. And we couldn't. So here's the thing. So now what you've got to do is go find that little girl, that beautiful little girl. I want you, when we're done here, to go find some place quiet outside under a tree. And I want you to find that place in your life where you felt like you could do cartwheels and you could do no wrong, and that you could just share your smile and your love with the whole world. Okay. You need to understand, the world is your sandbox. It's not a kitty litter. So that means that what you've got to do is you've got to go in and wean out toxic beliefs about yourself. And not that you have any of these. I'm just rattling them off. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm too old. That's all crock. You know what? It was only 5 years ago. Did we lose the camera? It was only 5 years ago. Okay? Actually, 6 years ago, I came back into business. And I've created all this in 6 years. I even created the Healthy to 100 book. So I want you to understand that you are an infinite creator, created by your creator. And understand, when you have negative thoughts and you're having a rough day, this is not who you are. These are man-made beliefs that are stumbling blocks. And understand this. I know you don't believe me, and I know that there's tens of thousands of people that rely on us, but we're here for you. Understand, if you want to call us, you've got a question. You know, I always tell people, get a consult. But if you don't want to do that, just know that we're here for you. All right? Is it on? Okay. All right. So anyways, we're here for you. But you got to be here for yourself. How often throughout the day do you say to yourself, I'm stupid, I'm dumb. Why did this come back? What could I have done for my mother, my father, and everybody else? How much are you making yourself responsible for things you're not responsible for? You are not responsible for anything except this present moment right here. And if you stay in the present moment and you honor that which you truly are, a beautiful spirit, then what's going to happen, and if you honor that at every present moment, you will have the life you've always wanted. No regrets, no fears. And people go, what do you mean no fear? Well, guess what? Fear is false evidence appearing real. When I know there's danger, I take action. And then I roar. And then I calm right down. And mind your own business. And your business is to look after that and cherish that beautiful little girl inside, to get to the point that when you wake up, you want to do a cartwheel. And at the end of the day, you go, wasn't that amazing? Thanks for joining us, love. I know I didn't tell you everything that you need. I have a question. Okay, here we go. Can you hear me? Yep. Okay. So the main reason actually why I was calling was the fungating sore. So last year, I. Okay, wait. The main reason you're calling. Can you bring the computer here, please, so people can hear this? No, the computer. Just the computer. Thank you. Okay. So the main reason you're calling. Hello?
Yeah, so I decided to... hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. We've only got 2 minutes left, though.
Okay, so like I was asking you about a fungating tumor, a fungating sore, because now it is fungating. There's a sore. I'm trying to control it.
Okay, I want to say something. Like 1 second. So now everybody, she's got a sore in her breast. That's going to happen. The sore in the breast is actually keeping her breast healthy right now. Now, because it's got to get rid of the decaying and dying cells and the pus within the breast so it doesn't mutate like crazy. So what is she going to do to support all the detox organs and to go in there and get rid of the scar tissue, crystallization, and displaced calcium around the sore because it's been building up for a long time? So let's try to picture it this way. You're going to have a buildup, okay, of this around the problem to wall things off like parasites from coming in and for the inflammation not to spread out. So now you've got a wall. It's a moat. Now what happens when you have a moat and you start building up pus and infection? Well, you've got to blow out the top of the mountain like the volcano, and it will want to spew, and that's actually to help you. Look it. I think it was about 5 weeks ago. I had so much going on here. I wasn't stressed out, but it was like, oh, wow. My body could not handle all the things and the pressure that was going on. And all of a sudden, just like a tap, I mean, it was like my hand was almost full of blood. Somebody would think they were having a brain tumor or freak out. And I went, Darrell, okay, that's it. Everybody got a bloody nose. I'm going to chill out for a couple hours. And I went for a walk across the street, which is an old volcano. Go figure. And that's what happens. And when I used to do acupuncture, when somebody would come in with high blood pressure, I would prick their finger or their toe, and I would release 1 drop of blood and check their blood pressure, and it would come down to normal. So understand something. In Chinese healing, it's because that's the body's way. So how are we going to decrease the emotional and physical toxins in our body so the body says, I don't need a hole to blow? Okay? What else would you like to know? Hello?
Yes, yeah, I can hear you. So how to heal, the sore? Because it's been,
Okay,
trying to control
first of
it.
all,
Yeah.
that would take an hour. Because understand, this is what everybody wants. You've all been programmed for this. What's it going to take? Okay, I'll tell you in 1 minute. Here we go. Are you kidding? Everybody, if you know me by now, it's what you do from the minute you wake up until you rest your beautiful head that will decide your life each and every day. If you create the perfect day and you repeat that perfect day and tweak it along the way, you'll have the best life ever. And we have been taught through Big Pharma, the pill is the thrill. Take that, it's gone. And guess what? Yes, it does. It disconnects the pain. It disconnects the inflammation. And then we get the mutation. So until we want to take a look at our lives on an emotional and physical level, from the minute we wake up until we go to bed to orchestrate that beautiful day every day, that just doesn't count. It's not like take 1 scoop, add water, stir and drink. It's called looking at your life to give you a beautiful life. Anybody that's happy, okay, and is in harmony with nature and their creator does not have a disease. And I will stand toe to toe with anyone and say that's the way it works. We would not have this unrest on this planet if we weren't running hate programs. And are we doing it on a conscious level? No. But the reality is when the majority of the population is running a hate program, it looks like a love program. When I go into families, or when families come here to do a personal treatment and training, which we are booking right now starting the 1st of June. So if you ever wanted to really help your family out or yourself out, come and learn to do this. It's 7 days or more. But the reality is, unless you want to get trained how to drive that beautiful vehicle you call your body, then you're going to be piecemealing all the time, going from this person to this person to this person. Heidi, if you want, you can give me a call this afternoon, and I can answer your questions a little bit better. All right, but we're gonna, we're gonna have to close off here. 1 second.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, everyone. So tomorrow we'll be set up, right, Drake? And I'll be doing. That's why I've got shorts on today. All right. Anyways, we'll be here at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll be here on Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. I'll be with Dr. Magna Haffis this afternoon at 3 p.m. Get your questions in. Put them in on here if you want. And we'll start piling them up because tomorrow we're doing a Q&A from 3 until 5. We'll stay that long if we have to and answer every question on 5G. 5G in your health, 5G in your babies, 5G in your headaches. Just know something. 5G and how it's going to be actually killing the good bacteria on your body and in your body. It hasn't begun there. Did you know that 5G works like a microwave and it heats up your cells from the inside out? Yeah. Don't you dare think that the elite that run this planet aren't feeding off of your pain, your suffering, and your ignorance. I'm not calling you ignorant, but I am telling you something. You are pretty ignorant if you are going to allow this 5G, and if you're going to allow someone to vaccinate you and put a chip in you. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to put on a one-a-day tomorrow to show you something. When they vaccinate you, do you know what it's called? Do you know what it's called? A pinch and a spark. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the vaccination goes in, there's the pinch, and they're trying to make it look light. And guess why they have to use a little bit of electricity to shock you when it goes in? Welcome to the chip. So yeah, if you don't think you're being set up, I don't know. Anyways, have a great day, everybody. Don't forget, Monday I'll have my Q&A as well. All our shows are time-stamped. So if you want to see any of these questions, go to YouTube, and you'll be able to go right to your question, and you'll see the answer that I gave you. So Magna Havas is today and tomorrow. Dr. Magna Havas. Next week, I've got Dr. Howard Fisher. And then the following week, I've got the amazing Peter Webb. And understand something. This next 3 weeks is all about 5G, Wi-Fi, and blue light. Okay? That's about it. I want to thank you for joining me. God bless. And just remember something. 3, 2, 1. I know you got this. Take care. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.